Hello everybody, welcome to Road to Endgame, a Marvel movie podcast, where every week we review two Marvel movies on leading up to Avengers Endgame. And then at the end of each phase we rank them, and at the end of Endgame we're going to rank all 20 some odd movies, and then we're fucking done.
Yes, we are.
I'm Bronson Fiore, this is Stephanie Watkins.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing today?
I am okay. Still getting over this, symptoms of a virus I had.
I feel that. I feel like that'll go away with the warm weather.
It's hard to swallow still.
I mean the warm weather, like 70s.
Not 90s.
Yeah,
Hundreds.
no, fuck that.
Let's go 120s this year. Fuck it.
I'm not looking forward to actual summer.
I'm not looking forward to
I hate it.
We need blackout curtains and more freaking...
We need a second air conditioner and blackout
No, we need
curtains.
3 air conditioners.
Yeah, we can just chill in our rooms. That's never bothered me.
No, fuck it. Cumulative airflow.
Well, honestly, dude, that power bill would be insane.
I would pay for it.
Okay, well then I will send you the invoice.
Well, summer you usually take off $50 off the rent. Just don't.
Fair enough.
There we go. That's our compromise.
Alright.
Okay,
yeah.
well, personal aspects aside, let's get into our movie, which
So,
is Ant-Man!
Yeah, so this thing, I really dug it.
That's how you start a review, right?
Opens up in the 1980s with Howard Stark and Hank Pym and all them talking about the Pym particle, and they allude to oh, Hank Pym is the current Ant-Man. And then they said, they warped current day in a prison, San Quentin, Bay Area.
Yeah.
And Paul Rudd is fighting in prison because it's his last day.
Every time I hear Paul Rudd's name, it just makes me think of when my ex was watching this one commercial, and it was Paul Rudd when his hair is all long, so he doesn't look like himself. And he's just like, "You're not Paul Rudd," and then he looks at him again, Paul Rudd? So the running gag is, "You're not Paul Rudd, Paul Rudd."
Fair enough. I think of role models, that movie, whenever I see them.
You're not Paul Rudd, Paul Rudd.
I think of role models and the scene from that movie where he rants about coffee. I also think of that movie...
I haven't seen Role Models, actually.
It's really good. It has LARPing in it. It's funny. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It has LARPing and the guy...
There's LARPing in Supernatural as well.
Huh. It also has a guy from The Hang... or a guy from Superbad in it and Stifler in it.
Oh, it has Stifler, and then it has...
McLovin.
Yeah, McLovin.
That's just what I know now.
Who turns into a supervillain in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
And freaking Kick-Ass was in Marvel.
Yeah, he was Quicksilver.
Yeah, Quicksilver.
There you go.
Full circle!
So this movie sets a really different tone from most Marvel movies because it's really light, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, it does have a lot of serious aspects to it, but I like the lightness of it. They're able to keep it fun.
Yeah, it's very fun the entire way through. I love that scene where it's just in Baskin Robbins. It's just I have a degree in electrical engineering. I'll be fine. Welcome to Baskin Robbins. And I'm like, that shit is the most relatable thing I have ever seen in my entire life.
No, what's the most relatable is the dude asking for fucking food in an ice cream shop. Go to goddamn Dairy Queen.
I had that last week when I was so this person called and she's like, "Yeah, I'd like some car insurance," and I'm like, this is United Healthcare. I can direct you from the Hartford. That's our subsidiary that does car insurance. But I need insurance for my car. I'm like, yeah, here's this number. Just no, don't you guys do car insurance? I'm like, no.
I just said no.
We're AARP, United Healthcare. AARP doesn't do car insurance. If they do, it's through the Hartford. It's like, okay, but who am I calling? United Healthcare.
Were they high when they called you?
I don't know, probably.
What the hell? What the hell is that freaking... Why didn't you tell me about that story earlier?
Oh, man, trust me, it's... Woo! Buddy, yeah, no. Trust me, if I did not make the kind of money I make doing customer service, I would have said fuck this job a long time ago.
Yeah, because that just sounds ridiculous.
Well, and also good benefits.
Anyway, he gets fired. because of the fact that, like, Baskin Robbins always finds out.
Yep. It's just like he is just like they take him back, just like, hey, I found out about your past, man. But you're not free one of those free shakes on the way out.
It was like a smoothie.
Yeah, free smoothies on the way out. Thanks, man. He's just like he's walking down the road with a smoothie.
Yeah,
afterwards.
he took the offer.
I would.
And then the dude, no, he comes in and Luis, his freaking cellmate, now roommate, who took him in, picked him up. Which, that was hilarious. Luis is like freaking smiling the entire time, and he's just like, my dad died, and my girl left me, but I got the bag.
You want to know who he reminds me of? From our stream, twitch.tv/Little Woman 21, two roomie stream. But the guy, one of our followers in stream, Mike. Yeah, Mike reminds me of Luis.
Yeah.
That, like, have you ever hung out with Mike
No,
in person?
he is super, like, cheery,
yeah,
all the time.
Like, I love chatting up. He's a car salesman, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, but, okay, so, like, but my point with him was, he comes in, he's just like, dude, I thought you were working today. Yeah, I got fired. Baskin Robbins always finds out.
Baskin Robbins don't play.
Yeah.
This guy. And it's kind of just setting up Scott Lynn's background of like, okay, he was this good dude, but then he became a criminal, but he was a criminal that fucked over like...
He became a criminal by screwing over a really bad corporate dude he pretty much Robin Hooded the place.
Basically.
And he got thrown in jail for it.
Yeah, no, that's... So, then he's looking for work. So he goes see his daughter, and his daughter's like, hey, this isn't allowed. Like, this is not, like, you can't see her till, it's like, hey, you're not allowed to be here right now, da-da-da-da-da. And, he's like, dude, I want to see my daughter. It's like, what can I do? It's like, get a job, get a place.
And then we can talk.
Uh-huh.
But see, most of the time, they normally have family dynamics to be, like, super, like, lopsided.
Mm-hmm.
In this, they have, like, a really realistic balance where everybody wants him to be in her life, but in the right way.
Yeah, that's totally fair, too. Like, that's,
Like, and of course, the cop stepdad is going to be, like, super strict. Like, I just see you as a criminal. You did something bad. And you didn't even think about your ex-wife or your daughter.
Right.
So he's going to like not like him, and that's a good base on why he doesn't like him. And he's good to
the daughter, the wife.
Yeah, he's good to them. It's not like he's abusive or that he like only sees justice. It's just, do the right thing, man.
Exactly. I actually really like him for the most part, like the stepdad. Like, I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, he's not as much of a dick as like when we go into Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
As
the fucking
the dad from Fresh Off the Boat, or the freaking guy who plays Kim Jong-un in the
the guy who's just like learning all mind magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, he's a dick. He's like freaking Two-Face as shit. Let's be honest. But so that just like gives merit to the cop dad.
Yeah, I really liked him a lot, and then I liked all of Ant-Man's friends, but then they said, so it's like, well, fuck, dude, I need to make money now, I need to start anything now. He's like, well, I have a job. And Luis tells his first story.
Yep, and Luis tells stories so beautifully. And we both want him to just, like, narrate from the beginning to here we are now for Endgame.
Yeah, I want, even if it's just a brief one, of how they got to New York for the Avengers compound.
And if you just had him, like, voice over, like, freaking, like, what people are saying, just, his whole storytelling thing is, like, freaking beautiful.
It's super endearing. It's a good, I love it. So they do the robbery, and it shows, like, oh, Scott's athletic and very intelligent. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's intelligent, like, and he parkours into the facility where, like, the other guys are just like, oh, shit, this is why you hired him. He's not just brains.
Yeah.
Like, type of thing. And
then, like, he breaks into the safe by, with water, and, like, figures out how to do a fake fingerprint scanner, all this stuff. But in the safe, it's just a suit. old motorcycle suit as they saw it.
Yeah.
And they, like, he tries it on, he's like, what's this button? It's like, shrinks. There was a radio, and they'll be like, well, you know, like, trial by fire. And you this first really trippy, like, dream sequence where he's, like, in a tub running from water, and then goes...
Sees his friend naked, which
Yeah.
he never wanted to do, even though he was in prison with him, so how did he avoid that?
Just tell him, hey, man, face the wall.
That's true.
Well,
I'm just saying.
yeah.
It's just like a locker room. How are you supposed... Like, you're eventually going to see your friend's dicks.
Not necessarily. I remember a lot of our guys just, like, showered at home.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, it's like most people.
Well, no, because, like, high school showers nowadays
Uh-huh.
aren't really built for showers.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
There were totally dudes who did, though.
Yeah.
Good for them, too. Like, I wish I was the person in high school, like, age 17, who was confident enough just to fucking get buck-ass naked and walk into the
Pour
fucking show.
some sugar on me.
Yeah, like...
In the name of love.
Godspeed to those people. Like most people just like got in their boxers, changed into some like shitty shorts, and then showered at home and whatnot. But nah, you had people fucking there's always like 3-4 dudes who were just always just like.
They probably all had girlfriends that would be mad at them if they didn't fucking like shower right then and there.
One of them definitely did. So,
There you go.
oh, yeah, no. So
No, but with my sensitive nose, if I had dated an athlete in high school, I would have been like, if y'all can't use the shower, use the sink, use something. I can't fucking smell you like this.
I never saw my girlfriend right after practice though. Rarely did.
I would have been supportive like that, but that's just me.
Well, it was more of just like she was home doing homework or working on stuff a lot of the time.
You can work on homework on a field.
And then like one of them was in cheer, so she was,
Yeah. Which means that she saw you during.
Yeah. And we were both super sweaty, so it didn't matter.
Okay, well there you go. But I'm just saying, like the first one though.
Okay, so the
Sorry, different discussion.
yeah the four. The first one hated football. The second one.
Why do we need to discuss this still?
No, we're going off the rails.
Okay.
The second one was kind of just a 6-month fling. The third one...
That's a long time in high school, though.
That's a long time to just be making out all the time. Yeah. The third...
No, like, I was crazy for thinking that I could, like, pull off a long-term relationship in high school. Like...
Dude, everyone is. You're insane. Because, like, in high school, you also are just not, like... you're going to change so much. You're going to change so much in your 20s.
How did we get on this conversation?
He saw his friend naked.
Oh, this all stemmed from him seeing his friend naked. Awesome.
But no, you get on, and then the third was in cheer, and then fourth was busy a lot of the time, so it was,
Sorry.
But no, I think back to, God, what was it? Yeah, no, you just change a lot as you grow up.
Yeah.
Like, even when you're dating someone or your early 20s, it's really rare to, like, turn that into a long-term relationship.
Yeah, no, that's true. I would say it's because you're not wearing rose-colored glasses like you are in high school. In high school, like, you meet the person you like and you're supposed to stay together forever. In, like, your 20s, like, early 20s, that could still happen. It's just like, this guy and I have been screwing around for a while, so, I mean, I think it's official, And then, like, you get to your later 20s, where we are, and we're just like, no, homie, we're good.
I think it's one of those things where...
like, you're much more critical, and you're, like, really, like, am I really going to, mate for life with this douchebag?
Well, not only that, but you also know what you want in a relationship at that point. And you also, you have that factor. And you also have the factor of, you're not really done developing, like...
And you don't have, like, false hope, of, like, oh, they'll change for me, or, oh, they'll be better, or they're just going through a rut, or a phase, or something. No. Like, you take them for them, and if you cannot take them at their worst, then you can't handle them.
No,
that's okay.
And not only that, but, like, when you don't stop developing mentally your brain until you're 25.
Yeah.
So, like, and at that point, from that point onward, that's when you're like, you know, that's when you are far more likely to meet the person who's like your forever person if you do meet that person.
Or sometimes in your 30s, like an Ant-Man.
Yes. Looping that back around. That's a subtle segue.
I'm trying to get us back on track.
It's alright.
But no, like, him and the wife didn't, it's not like she was, like, waiting around for him and stuff like that. She moved on. He did a crime. He didn't think of the consequences with her.
Well, could you imagine if your, like, significant other goes to prison? Like, you're like, most people aren't gonna, like, wait out that shit.
Well, if you're going to tell me what you're going to do, then, you know, then I'm not blindsided by it. But if you're just in jail all of a sudden, I'd be a little peeved.
Yeah. But, like, my whole thing with that is, still is just, like, if you go to jail, like, most people are not going to hang around for someone to go to jail for, you know, like, 4 years.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, good for the people who do, but, like, time marches on people.
Oh, yeah, no, it does. It does. I'm not denying it. Some people can go for the long haul. I mean, guys go to war.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're gone for like 4 years.
Yeah. I feel that one's a little different.
No, it is. But, I mean, there's a couple of reasons why people go to jail that isn't necessary. I mean, like, he didn't murder anybody.
Yeah.
He didn't, like, you know, like, rob a bank.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he freaking took from the rich that was stealing from the poor and gave it back to the poor.
I mean, giving it back to himself. But
He didn't give it to himself.
Was that not part of that movie? No.
No, he gave it back to everyone else, not himself.
I think that the thing about that is, though, is like, you got a baby mama, homie.
Yeah, no,
Like,
he should have thought of that.
Yeah.
You know, in order to afford the house, he could have, like, taken some and given it to her.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
But still, just, like, being absent when she needed you, money's not going to buy that.
Yeah, like, there's something that a lot of rich parents don't realize, and that's, like, you can't buy time with your kids.
Yeah.
And I realize that is, like, oh, what a bad problem to have, like, for a lot of people who are broke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but, like, on the other side of that, like, you know, like, I totally get it, because, like, when my dad's company was at its busiest, I saw him on Sunday, and then sometimes at night.
Yeah, and he would still, like, try to make time for you. It's not like he'd be like, go away.
No, exactly. And he actually fucking loved when I'd stay up and talk to him and shit.
No, and
but still,
my uncle who owns a company, he actually has made it this far with his nuclear family. Mm-hmm. He's made it this far due to the fact that he has one rule. Mm-hmm. He doesn't bring work home with him. He has his study where he needs to, like, take care of, like, meetings if he has, like, a important phone call, but the minute he steps out of that area,
bubble, yeah,
no, he leaves work away from everything else.
And I think that's a good practice, because you and I just need to start a fucking talk show, man. Bronson and Stephanie in the morning.
Bronson and Stephanie in the morning.
Rob Williams, hit me up. We'll,
Rob Williams.
Rob, Arnie, and Don.
Oh.
Rob, everybody, and Don now.
His last name's Williams?
Yep.
That's weird. Mm-hmm. I don't like that.
He's also...
No, it's too close to Robin Williams. I don't like it.
But no...
No one... Like, he's too rude to even remotely be my TV dad.
Him and I share a lot of opinions on things. But anyway, no, God, we'd be...
So, I'm sorry. So back to the reason why we brought that up is just the dynamic that they have it in. And he eventually falls in love with Pym's daughter, and that's what I was trying to get at. Yeah. And, like, she thought that she was, like, going to fall in love with this one dude who took over for Pym. And she helped freaking... like, cast out her own father out of his own company. Right,
so you see that actually allows us to address the bad guy in this movie. So it's a bad guy who's trying to make a working Ant-Man suit. That Pym had forever because he's like, look, man, I don't trust this in anybody's hands but my own.
Exactly.
And good reason. And this dude, like, he's trying to fuck it up. Every time he shrinks something, it turns into a booger. He turns an investor into a booger. It's the most horrifying shit I've ever seen.
Well, because he doesn't understand that it's not the formula. It's the fact that you need a casing.
Yeah.
That can withstand it. It can't be organic.
Mm-hmm. And then also, like, the, God, what was it? I actually don't really like the villain in this just because he's, like, fucking one note and, like, evil for no real reason.
He's scorned in a lot of ways. He's scorned, he's underappreciated, and he just wanted his mentor to be proud of him.
Mm-hmm.
And because he never got that, he put his life into this, and he got squashed, and so he wanted to squash his mentor.
Yeah, it still feels really thin to me. I don't know.
People have started wars over less, though.
Hold on. It feels thin for how comically evil he is. Where he's just like the sheep scene. But it's just
where like he tings it, making the sheep like fall over that dick.
Yeah, like I'm just like it's like you are comically hokey evil. Like especially when you look at the later movies in this phase where we get fucking Kurt Russell.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
We get Kurt Russell and we get fucking Vulture and we get Killmonger and Thanos.
Yeah, okay, so the Hornet definitely feels more like a DC villain.
He just feels very just like he feels like a lot of these movies
he feels like Lex Luthor Jr.
I mean,
in a sense, that's what I'm saying. Like
less bad, but yes.
Oh yeah, no, he's not gonna like reform a person to create Doomsday, but no, like my whole thing is like if we're going to compare him to anything, like he is more like a DC villain, and that's kind of what takes away a little bit from this, but it couldn't have been as light-hearted, I believe, if they had a more complex villain, like because Ant-Man and the Wasp, it is a little darker because they have a more complex villain.
Yeah, and I like that movie a lot as well.
And they really wanted to lighten everything up.
Post Infinity War.
No, this isn't post Infinity War.
No, I'm saying Ant-Man and the Wasp. They wanted. I'm saying, in this movie, they want to lighten it up too. Post Age of Ultron.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
I like how we go dark, light, mega dark.
Mega dark.
Which we'll get to that next week.
But yeah, so stop checking your phone.
I'm sorry.
Why do you have to? Is it your girlfriend?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Stop responding. Did you tell her that you're recording right now?
Yes, that's why I just texted her.
Okay.
Jesus.
Oh my god. Get on my ass for having my phone.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so you have, so he goes through that scene where he gets fucking flown through all the shit, and he's just like, oh, I can't, fuck this suit, fuck all of this. And then he goes to put the suit back, but Hope calls the cops. That's Hank's daughter.
Which, what I don't like is she's, like, when everything goes down, she's just like, I didn't know you had a daughter. And it's like, okay, well, if your dad does enough research on him, why didn't you? Why did you just jump to the conclusion that he's just a criminal just because you've heard that he Robin Hooded a guy? That doesn't even sound that bad in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, but the thing is like, she's, like, thinks she's the best fit for the job, and, like, her dad is, like, picking this fucking rando.
So you throw a guy that doesn't even know what's going on in jail? That's really bratty attitude for a grown-ass woman.
Yeah, I don't like her until the second movie.
I don't like her until the second half of the first movie.
I love her in the second, and like the second half of this, she gets a lot better, and she does have some great moments. I love the training montage as he's getting better and learning the ants and all this different stuff.
What I also don't like is she a grown-ass woman?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck did it take so long for her dad to tell her how her mom died? And she has enough, like, tech skill to where she could have looked it up herself.
Yeah, she just trusted.
She really sucks at research in this movie.
I do like that scene with her in the fight scene though, where like Scott finally gets a good hit on her, and she just like goes up, fucking flies on top of him and pins him.
Like, she Black Widows him.
Yeah, basically. That was super great. The entire training montage is really good. You have, and then like, you really get to see him working with the ants. And I just love the visual look of this movie because of all the shrinking stuff. The big, little, big, little,
oh,
big,
yeah,
little,
no,
big,
I
little.
definitely like most of it.
Yeah, so...
But no, the not telling her for like 20 years.
Yeah, no.
You know, the not freaking, like, like her not fucking researching anything in her life, being this brilliant scientist chick.
Yeah, but I think she just trusted her dad. At least on that note, like, not to lie about his mom. But then like, at one point...
He didn't lie, but she didn't, like, he didn't lie, but he just never told her.
No, he said she died in a plane crash.
Which isn't not true. But no, like, that wasn't technically, like...
That is a lie.
She literally says, you never tell me how mom died.
Yeah, and he he even says at multiple points in the movie, like, it was a plane crash. But, quit using it. And she calls him out at one point, like, dude, quit using that excuse. Tell me how mom really died.
But, like, if she had the suspicion, she could have looked it up.
Yeah.
And if she clearly didn't trust him because she voted him out of his own company and even called him out on his lie.
Yeah. And
so how are you supposed to say that she trusts him?
Well, she trusts him in the second half of this movie because, like, the other dudes...
Because he comes clean.
Well, not only that, also, like, you realize like, the villain is nuts.
Yeah.
That's why she went to him in the first place. And, like, this whole job was for... She thinks she's the best candidate for the job, but,
Yeah, Ant-Man puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
Scott, right?
Yeah,
Scott puts
Scott
it
Lang.
Yeah, Scott puts it into perspective by going, I'm expendable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a nobody. Like, not even, like, my family wants to see me, except for, like, the kid, but yeah, no. She doesn't really know what's good for her, technically. She's a child. And, like, like, she's the last thing in his world that he has to hold on to, so, like, of course, like, he's not going to sacrifice her, he's going to sacrifice a dude that's, like, going to be really good at stealing stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And to be really good to steal something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like, she definitely, I feel like she also wasn't ready yet because her emotions ruled her actions. Like, she was blacking out all of the lights and stuff like that and turning a little dark in that scene.
Yeah, a little bit. So you have all this, so I love heist movies. And you have all this heist movie set up, like the training and the suit and the fucking, and you have that great escape scene when fucking Hank gets him out of prison. He's like, you have 10 seconds to decide. You want to rot in jail or you want to go fucking be Ant-Man?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll be fucking Ant-Man! And then they go, bring him back to the facility. They do the training montage. It's great. You get to see him leading the ants. You get to see him fucking, she Black Widows him, like I said earlier. You'll see all this happen. And then but something leaks. And when the villain comes to his house and finds out what Hank's trying to do, so they up security. So they need a bigger team, and like, fuck, who are we gonna get on this short notice? Scott's homies.
Yep. And they actually are a huge asset. And okay, so one thing that I love, Luis's right hook.
Yeah, dude punches out like I'm just like, damn.
He is one punch man in this freaking movie. Every time he punches a dude,
just out.
Yeah.
Out.
No, and he's the only one that got that big inmate that always did the goodbye, like,
beating.
Yeah, the goodbye beating every time somebody left jail.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one to ever knock him out.
Oh.
And it shows in all of those fight scenes. Just right hook, bam.
Yeah, he dresses up. He's all goofy and weird. Funny.
He's just like, I'm gonna whistle, to set the scene, blend in.
And then the two cons outside get busted, but then get free, but then get busted. I love the scene when they go to Scott's house, and they're like, all right, we're going to go help him. Nothing's going to stop us. And they see all the cops, and they're just backing up.
They're just backing up. It's good. And then the giant ant that comes into play in the next movie.
The giant ant that's in the next movie. The whole end battle is great. like the shrinking big, going small, big small, big
oh
small,
yeah,
big
and
small.
the science behind it too, like having to go like subatomic or whatever.
Yeah, subatomic to break
Shrink between the molecules.
to shrink between molecules to break the wasp pack, so his daughter and stepdad wouldn't get killed.
Not the wasp. It was like the hornet
Or the hornet. Yeah, sorry, not the wasp. Bugs.
Fucking the bug. The other bug with the bug.
Yeah, the wasp. The hornet. There's the no Yellow Jacket. It's
Yellow
Yellow
Jacket?
Jacket. Yeah.
Still a hornet.
Yeah, it's still, but the name of the villain is Yellow Jacket. So
Okay.
there's Yellow Jacket, Ant-Man, Wasp, and I forget what Cassie is going to be in the third movie.
I don't know. I don't do research on this. I just ride the ride.
Well, she's even someone in the comics.
Well, I don't read the comics. I revealed this the last time that we did a review.
Yeah.
Like, I don't read the comics. I'm just really good at my research if I'm really interested in something.
Fair enough. You should read more comics.
That's how I found out that trauma can actually, like trauma to the liver can actually start you on the path to getting diabetes.
Oh.
That's why the whole car accident thing is probable for why our friend, has diabetes.
Checks out.
Like, not only that, but I mean, also, like, his sugar levels were just off. Like, he also had cancer and appendicitis at the same time on the same organ, which also could have caused the diabetes.
He's also had his cancer scare a couple years later.
Yeah, so cancer and trauma can actually help induce diabetes down the line.
Man, his genetics are interesting.
Genetics in general isn't interesting. Why does trauma or cancer induce something that's a lifelong ailment if it's not in the right place?
Well, not only that.
It's just in general.
Not only that, but like, dude, how many 21-year-olds get cancer?
My aunt.
Very few.
My aunt, our friend, my other friend who died.
I know. Ray is literally the only one I've personally known.
I've known a few.
It's very interesting because like to see like how some families are more susceptible to it. Because my family has one case.
My family has multiple cases, and it's mainly women.
We have one case, and it's a woman.
It's weird how it's like, it seems like it's mainly women, even though we have a lot of cases where it's men.
We have 1 diabetes, 1 cancer, 4 heart attacks, and that's about it.
Heart attack due to drunkenness. AIDS-related cancer. Stroke, aneurysm. We have a lot of stuff jacked up with us.
And for my family, it's mostly just minor annoyances. Like, it's fucking, like, eczema, asthma, like, this is shit you can live with easily and we have medicine for.
My family has every type of arthritis.
Literally no cases in the entire family.
Nice. Mm-hmm. No, every type of arthritis, diabetes, heart problems, back problems, lung problems. We have asthma. Like, we have like a shit ton of problems. This is why I want to find a really perfect candidate if I ever have like a freaking kid. Like,
I don't think there's.
I need the creme of the crop.
I think you're not gonna find a family tree where like there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. Like that's just not just.
I'll find myself a super soldier.
You will not find Captain America.
I'm gonna find Bucky. Bucky gonna be my baby daddy.
It's just like.
Right. Anyway.
No.
It's good. It's a good movie overall.
What was the Stan Lee cameo at the end is great.
What was it?
With Anna Akana, where like Luis is like, hey, I got another
Oh,
job
yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
Yeah. That's
and
right,
it's just like, I told this to tell this, and like Anna Akana is one of them, and it tells Stan Lee.
And that's super cool that she got like one of her first big breaks.
In fucking Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, and she's made her own like stuff too.
And then visually very interesting, good soundtrack. The end fight, it's a little long, but it's fucking awesome. The biggest thing here are my big two criticisms of this movie is one, I think the end fight's a little too long.
Yeah.
And two, I think, and two is I like the light breeziness of it, especially after Age of Ultron.
But you have to get it by having a villain that's very one-dimensional.
Yeah. And then also, like, the light breeziness at times works against it. But when I'm actually watching the movie, I'm fucking loving it. It's actually my second favorite from this phase, which we're going to get into more of that later. So what do you rate it?
I would rate it a 4.
It's a 5 for me. I don't.
5 for you?
I loved it.
I don't know. Like, I really don't like how she's ruled by emotion and doesn't research shit.
Some people
in the movie.
Some people are like that, and that
she's supposed to be smart.
You can be smart and ruled by emotion.
You can, but you're not going to be stupid enough to figure. Like, Tony is smart but ruled by emotion a lot of the time, and he researches everything.
Yeah, but also we just watched the end of a movie where the emotion really, you know.
But he still researched everything.
Yeah, or like
I would want to avenge my parents too. That's not the discussion right now.
Okay, anyway, that didn't bother me. For me it's a 5. I really enjoyed it. It's funny. It's perfect for after Age of Ultron because, like, you have this big, heavy, sad, fucking morose movie at the end. Yeah. And then you get this very light, breezy thing. So if you're watching them in an order, this is really great. 5 out of 5 for me. 4 out of 5 for you.
Yes.
Stan Lee cameo time.
Oh, you know what? It was funny. It wasn't too long. I would say it's a 3.
So it's a 4 for me.
Really?
I like it where it's just like...
No, I really liked it.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I really liked it. I just, it's 3. Could be better. I like Stan Lee.
I like Stan Lee. Alright, so we're at the end of phase 2.
Yes.
We are 2/3 of the way done with this shit.
Okay.
So we're gonna rank the phase.
So I didn't get to rank phase 1.
You didn't, which that's what I think we're in first. So I was about to say Stephanie was not here for phase 1. It was Brandon.
Brandon
is gone. So.
And now you phoned Stefan.
Yes. So we're gonna overview her phase 1 and my phase 1.
Alright.
So your phase 1 from worst to best. What? Why? No, I can't link. No, it's one take for these.
Okay.
Alright, so what is your phase 1?
So phase 1, Iron Man, Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man 2, Thor, Hulk.
Okay, so my phase 1 was Captain America, Avengers, Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, Hulk.
We agree on Iron Man 2, Thor, and Hulk.
Yes. The top half we disagree, though we do agree that those are the 3 best movies of that.
Oh,
film.
yeah, no.
At
that point, it's personal preference.
So phase 2, we're going to go worst to best. So what was your bottom of phase 2?
Thor 2.
Thor 2, yeah. Paced like shit. Looks...
Yeah.
Okay,
so phase 2 for me, it was difficult to rank well because of the fact that, like, my main, like, driving point is forgettability. Mm-hmm. And that's how I ranked my phase 2.
So there are 6 movies in phase 2, and for me, it really is top half, bottom half. Like, the 3 movies in it I really love. The 3 movies in it I think are okay, and then 1 is bad. So I agree with Thor 2. Parts of it look cool. There's some great character stuff with Loki and Thor. That Captain America cameo is gold. Mm-hmm. The rest of that movie is slow, poorly paced, boring, generic soundtrack.
The characters.
The characters. The whatchamacallits.
The characters are not done well in my mind. Like, the mom rocked that shit, but the dad, Odin, was not himself in that movie, and that was disappointing.
Yeah, just very meh. All right, what was your number 5?
Iron Man 3.
You're hurting me.
I'm sorry.
You're hurting me.
It's forgettability.
Dude, I remember every part of that movie.
I don't remember every part of that movie. It's very easy for me to forget it, and honestly, I like the fanfare of it. It did get, like, I think I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. Anyway, number 5.
Thor 2 got a 1. I'm sorry.
Got a 2 for me. It was better than Hulk. So number 5 for me was Age of Ultron. I think there's too much going on in it.
Now you're hurting me.
How does it feel?
Oh, God. Not good, buddy. Not good.
I think it's just too bloated, and there's too much going on in it. And then, like, we recorded that one late, and I forgot a lot of it, like you said. I think there are some action set pieces in it that are fucking awesome.
I said it was a 4 out of 5 for me because of the fact that, like, they did Quicksilver wrong. They did Quicksilver bad. Like, they did him dirty.
The action scenes in it are great.
They are.
Like, visually, the party with...
Visually?
Vision. The Avengers, party, I loved. That scene was great. The rest of that movie, I was just very much just like, yeah, this is fine.
I liked it. I liked it immensely. I thought that the villain was well thought out. I thought the premise of the villain was good, and like I liked his banter as well because you could really see the Tony coming in and coming out of him in those moments.
All right, so number 4. What was your number 4?
Winter Soldier.
Same. I thought it had some great moments.
Winter Soldier was a 3 for me too out of 5.
It was a 4 for me, I think. So for me it was 2, 3, 4. As for the movie itself, I like spy movies. Great action scenes, some great twists. Nick Fury A+.
Yeah, Nick Fury is A+, and that's like I like the integration of his story in this too, and like SHIELD actually being Hydra, and really like seeing what happened to some of the people he fought like all those years ago and stuff like that. Just it was good. It was good. I mean,
my big problem with it is it's a little bloated.
I can't push Winter Soldier above any of my top 3.
No, my top 3 are like my top 3 was my number 1 was easy to pick. It was super easy.
It was easy for both of us. Both of us. It's number 1.
Yeah. Winter Soldier. Like my problem was, one, it's a Captain America movie, but it's not really about Captain America.
See, the only thing is, we switched our 2 and
5.
Yeah.
Or
rather 3 and 5.
3 and 5. Yeah, sorry.
Your 2 is my 3 though.
Yeah. So, I think it's a good flick, but I think a lot of people consider this one of the better ones in the MCU.
Yeah.
And I disagree. But I still think it's a good flick. What
is your number 3?
Iron Man 3.
No.
This movie is so fucking hype.
It's okay.
You get to fucking... Oh my god. If you are a fan of the character of Iron Man, they do so much good character shit with him. There's so many...
I wanted them to approach the PTSD differently, and they didn't do it right in my mind. And that's just my opinion, and that's why we're doing these opinion pieces.
Yeah, there's so many good action scenes. Like that scene where his house is falling off the building and all that works in his suit is the fucking photon blasters. Mm-hmm. Or the scene, or like when he only has parts of his suit and he's in the compound and they're calling him one by one.
I liked it when he like saved Pepper by putting her in the suit, and then she freaking saved him. Yeah, that was cool. I love the not the end action scene though. I do love that. I love the scene where like all the dudes are falling. She totally gets braver in this movie, and that's what I liked.
That's cool. Her getting some action moments is great. But like the falling scene where all those politicians are falling out of a jet, and Tony's saving them. And he ends up, like, he gets all of them, and then, like, he flies down and gets hit by a truck, but it turns out it's just him piloting it remotely. It's like, yeah, that went well. I mean, yeah. So, I like how it's a little bit of a buddy cop with War Machine in it. A little bit of buddy cop thing going on at one point in the movie.
Yeah.
I enjoy and then the end action set piece, where because he knows the bad guy can just total his suits. He knows.
So Iron Man 3 overall is higher on my list, of course. But when I only have 6 movies to go off of, I do have it lower on my list.
Hold on. One last thing. The end fight, well, he just knows the dude's going to trash his suits. So he just brings in all of his suits.
Mm-hmm.
All 50 suits. And it's so hype.
And then the finale for him destroying all of his suits.
Yeah.
Just fireworks.
Yeah, and he gets a real heart.
It's a good Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's a great my favorite Christmas movie.
It is your favorite Christmas movie. We should watch it every Christmas.
Yes. So yeah, loved it. So number 2, Ant-Man. We talked about it a lot just now. It's funny. It's light. It looks great. What's your number 3? What was your number 3?
My number 3 for Phase 2.
Yeah.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, so that fits with my number 2 here. So we just had a lot of discussion. It's light. It's fun. It looks great.
Yeah.
So
Age of Ultron is my second.
Okay, go ahead.
It introduces all of these beautiful people intricately woven into a masterful, like, freaking scene after scene after scene of cohesive, like, conflict and resolution.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. No, Scarlet Witch is one of my favorite freaking, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are probably two of my favorite Marvel people, but since they're just in here, they're still really super cool. How they set out to how they got their powers, their backstory about how they were just lying there waiting to die under a Stark missile. Like, that was just, oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. I'd be in the same position of them. It's just like, you said that you destroyed all of your tech. I'm sitting under it. This is your fault. So I see their hatred. It destroyed their home. It destroyed their lives. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Like, all they had was each other.
Fair enough.
And then, like, this olive branch came to them in the form of Hydra, and they were like, well, we don't really trust you, but you're going to give us the powers to help us get our revenge.
Fair enough.
On a man that clearly lied and broke his promise.
Fair enough.
So, like, honestly, and Ultron, I feel like he is a very good villain.
I just don't think he's fleshed out enough for me. Like,
well, you can only do so much when they normally only have villains last one movie.
Well, I think that was my big problem with that movie and why it's at so low is just, like, they're trying to do, like, 30 different plot lines.
That's true.
That's exaggerating.
What
and that's where it falls apart for me.
What I do like, though, is, like, okay, so the one time I think that they, like, line up a villain to be in more than one movie, Doctor Strange. Because his friend becomes the villain.
And Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos too.
Oh.
But that's like reoccurring for everybody, like leading up to, like, he's doing stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But no, like somebody in somebody else's life, like their personal villain, like returning. Mm-hmm. Ultron doesn't return because it's just like every other villain.
No. He has the potential to return. Because...
He had the potential to return.
I mean, he still could.
No, he's dead. All of his stuff is dead. Like, he didn't save himself like Jarvis did in the system.
So, all right. Well, number 1.
But no, I really like that. The only thing that I didn't like was how they killed Quicksilver off. If he's faster than bullets, then why the fuck didn't he push everybody out of the way, stop all the bullets, and then he would be fine?
Because contracts.
Yeah. Yeah, and
so,
they can go fuck themselves.
So number 1 for both of us, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Because it is beautiful. The color scheme, the color scheme mixed with the scenery, mixed with the plot, mixed with the music, all of it is just perfectly melded together.
So.
And you have perfect, like, character development without having to mush it all together, like you said. It is a bit slower in the character, like, it is a bit slower for each scene, like, so that way there is actual character development, but they can't do that when they mush all the Avengers together.
Well, right, which that's why I think that they should have done, like, they should have made Ultron, like, an Iron Man villain, and, like, I don't know.
And then have,
you know, an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should...
Like, he's still out there or something.
That should have been 2 movies, probably.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, from a writing perspective, so, writer, wrote comics, that was what I went to college for, and this follows 3-act structure perfectly. It nails it. It also nails something that you need to do in film that's very important. And that is 3-act structure. 3-act structure is very huge, very important. Nails it perfectly. They also nail show don't tell. Like, they don't have unnecessary dialogue. They don't have, like, this bloated fucking, like, here's this long, lengthy dialogue scene about Star-Lord. You know, Gotta hurry. Here's this long, lengthy dialogue scene about Star-Lord and Star-Lord's background. It's just, oh yeah, he's this dude who, like, they tell it through, like, the opening scene where you're like, oh, he's dancing, like, it sets the tone for who he is. And then you get a little bit of his fight scene. You're like, okay, this sets more of the tone for who he is. And then finally, when all the Guardians are in lockup, and they're going through one by one, it gives you a brief rundown of, okay, here's who everyone is. Rocket Raccoon, genetic experiment on X planet, yada, 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 yada. Groot, tree planet, Groot, all you can say is, I am Groot. That's who dude is. Then you have Gamora, daughter of Thanos, lending him out to Ronan. So you get this, like, brief rundown. And then, once again, in the don't tell spirit of the movie, that's very much a part of this movie, they have a full-on, just complete, what's the word I'm looking for? They have this full-on, just this scene in the prison where it's like, okay, so Groot and Rocket are, like, going to protect them because they went into prison with him. You see what's important to the characters. At no point does the movie have this moment where it's very much dialogue, where it's very dialogue heavy, and it's very focused on, telling you, oh, this lengthy backstory of each character. It's like, no, you can see who these people are through, like, the way they talk with each other and whatnot, and the way the world is around them.
We've agreed on this before.
Yeah.
It's why I haven't chimed in. You went through the whole spiel on what we freaking agree on.
And then visually, great. It's one of my favorite movie soundtracks ever. So far, here's the thing. All the 5s I've given so far, I've had some reservations about. Like, I love Iron Man 3 and Captain America. Those are the other 2 5s for me so far. And I have some reservations about those. This movie was so easy to give 5. It was just like, boom, 5. No questions asked. Here you go.
So, honestly, when we go into our so far movies, literally number 5 is when it starts to be a 4.
What?
Like, on my scales. Oh. Number 5 on my... number 5... on my so far list is literally Age of Ultron. And that's a 4 for me.
That was a 3 for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
do we want to go into so far, and let's just do our top?
So that's phase 2.
Yeah.
So that's our phase 2 rankings. The final phase 2 ranking for me is Thor 2, Age of Ultron, Winter Soldier, Iron Man 3, Ant-Man, Guardians. You?
Guardians, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Winter Soldier, Iron Man 3, Thor 2.
Okay, so you did... Alright, so...
Sorry, I did it backwards. Thor 2, Iron Man 3, Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Age of Ultron, Guardians.
There we go. So now...
Sorry about that.
Now we're gonna rank, Okay. Now we gotta rank our Phase 1 and our Phase 2. Real... So we're gonna do through the whole thing. What was the movie that you thought was worst so far? Out of all these movies, Phase 1 and Phase 2.
1, 2, 3. Hulk.
Such a bad movie.
I was hoping you would have said it with me, honestly.
Hulk. There is so...
Alright, so...
Alright, so...
Let me... Okay, so, hold on. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so number 12 is Hulk.
Yeah, that was...
Number 11. 1, 2, 3. Thor 2. Number 10. 1, 2, 3. Thor. Number 9. Let's see when we differ. 1, 2, 3. Iron Man 2.
For me, it's Age of Ultron.
Mine is Iron Man 2. Age of Ultron is number 5 for me on this list.
A little too bloated for me. Alright, and then number 8.
1, 2, 3. Winter Soldier.
Iron Man 2.
Okay, so it's not too far up on your list.
Just felt kind of like an extension of Iron Man 1.
Winter Soldier, I don't know, like, it's It's good. It's not as good as the other ones for me.
It's good, but overrated.
Okay, so I know Ant-Man is going to be higher on your list, but that's what number 7 is.
Alright, my number 7 is Winter Soldier. Like I said, I liked it, but wasn't fucking mind blown by it.
Yeah.
Like some people are. Alright, number 6.
Number 6. 1, 2, 3. Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 1.
Oh, okay. Okay. At least they're both Iron Man movies.
Alright.
And then number 5 I said was Age of Ultron for me.
Number 5 for me, or sorry, number 5, we're on 5, right?
Yeah, we're on 5. We were on number 6.
Are you, okay. Avengers. First
Really?
Avengers.
Avengers?
Yeah, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's 5. Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
Avengers. I really like the action scenes. I think the first act is too slow. I think the villain is not like anything.
All right, number 4.
Number 4.
1, 2, 3.
Iron Man
America.
3. Iron Man 3.
Captain America was a real feel-good movie, but it didn't like wow me like the other, like my others, like my top 3 did.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3, drum roll please. Iron Man.
Captain America.
Okay.
Yep.
So yours wowed you more than me.
Yep. All right, number 2.
This time it's you, buddy.
Ant-Man.
Mine is Guardians.
Okay, and number 1 for me, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mine is Avengers.
What? Wow, okay. That's shocking.
No, mine is Avengers. It's where everyone first cohesively comes together, and it blew my goddamn mind. It blew my mind so much that friggin' it's just ridiculous. Okay, so honestly, my predictions for Phase 3...
Hold on.
Do you want to do predictions or do you not want to do predictions?
Hold on. I just want to discuss the overall thing. That's the rankings.
Yeah, those are the rankings.
So what is your better opinion on Phase 2 and Phase 1 individually and whatnot?
Phase 2 is definitely a transition phase.
I like it kind of more than Phase 1 because...
I like Phase 1 way better.
half of the movies in Phase 1 for me, I'm just kind of about.
Guardians and Ant-Man are the only ones that really like stand out for me. In Phase 2, that should be in Phase 1.
For me, it's Phase 1, I really love Iron Man and Captain America, and I like Avengers, but the other 3 movies I'm kind of lukewarm on, versus I love my top 3 in Phase 2. I like Winter Soldier a lot. I like Age of Ultron enough, and then Thor 2 is a tire fire.
Tire fire.
Yep, tire fire. So Phase 3. So we have some predictions for Phase 3 where we think it's gonna land.
So I actually have to change mine.
Why?
Because I rewatched Thor Ragnarok early and I was like, this is actually good.
God damn it. Alright, so prediction for Phase 3 for me. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Our number 1 should be the same, but it's not. And it disappoints me that our number 1 isn't the same.
Our number 1 is drastically different, in fact.
Yeah.
That's my number 2. So what is your bottom of your Phase 3 predictions?
It was Thor Ragnarok.
What is it now?
Black Panther.
Mine's Civil War.
Okay, so the problem with this ranking, the problem with Phase 3 is I don't have a low ranking for any of them. I don't have anything, I don't have a 2 for any of these movies.
I have a bunch, honestly, looking at this list, half of them are 3-star movies to me and the other half are 5s.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's
There's
weird.
no 2s or 1s this time. It's all freaking great. So
It's all
don't
3+.
think that our next ranking is going to be like downing on any of these movies. This is literally like what we had to put them in. So Black Panther is like a solid, like, I thought I gave that like a 3 or a 4, but we'll do it again.
Yeah,
when we do the official like ranking for it.
All of this could change because most of these movies we haven't seen in like a year.
So before
Plus.
I rewatched, this was before I rewatched all of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is before I'm rewatching them well.
So okay,
well,
so. And like this movie would be a 4 if it wasn't for the fact that I had to watch it a second time for it to be a good movie. And the same thing goes for you. Neither of us liked, and it's Thor Ragnarok. Neither of us liked Thor Ragnarok when we first watched it, and then when we both watched it on our own a second time, we loved it.
So I'm curious to see how the third viewing of that's going to go.
We're going to be meh about it now. That'll be our two.
Okay, but the bottom of my list is Civil War. So what I remember about Civil War is that it had a lot of the problems Ultron had of just being too bloated, too much shit going on.
It didn't have enough shit going on.
Not streamed a lot. Not streamlined enough. All right.
I was one of those people that was really disappointed at the fact that Marvel, Fox didn't give the rights up yet to where we couldn't, combine mutants into this, because that's what Civil War is actually supposed to be about. Also disappointed that they call it a Captain America movie when it's clearly an Avengers movie.
We'll get to that. Alright, what was your bottom was Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah.
So the next for both of us was Black Panther.
Yes. It was overrated.
Yeah, I think
it was way too hyped.
I think it was a great movie. No,
it was a good movie.
It's visually cool.
Mm-hmm. Visually cool. I like the science in it. I like the relationships, the character development, and it is super solid. Everything, mostly about it is great. Like I said, these are the only movie that I thought was bad on it was Thor Ragnarok until I rewatched the movie.
I didn't think Thor Ragnarok was bad. I was just, anyway.
You weren't giving it a 3 at the time.
Alright, so what's your next one? Mine's Captain Marvel.
Mine is Doctor Strange.
So weird to me. That was a movie I thought you'd be super into.
I am, but at the same time, it's so disorienting to me. It's hard to keep up the action sequences when they're fucking fighting in the mirror world because, dyslexia plus blindness equals not a great time. Also motion sickness.
I know to keep trying that movie fine. That's weird.
Okay, so my next one is Guardians 2.
Hold on, mine was Captain Marvel.
Okay. Why is that not, higher on your list?
So I think the first third of it is fucking boring.
I loved it because of the psychological aspects of it.
It's super fucking boring.
Well, because we have a writer versus a psychologist/writer.
Yeah. And then I think that she is very wooden in that movie.
She's coming into her own.
Yeah, but still.
We've discussed this.
Alright, so my next one on my list, yours was Guardians 2.
Yeah, Guardians 2.
Why do you hurt me?
Why do you hurt me?
Why do you just... Okay.
You hurt me first. You literally sent me that message first.
Okay, so...
So you hurt me first. So.
My next one was Spider-Man Homecoming.
Both of ours were Spider-Man Homecoming, actually.
My problem with that movie, and once again, this is all going off what I remember. I could watch all of these and think they're 5s.
Wait. No, sorry. My Guardians, I think, is in your space.
Yeah, I think that's... Okay, so... But, no, that's your Doctor Strange. Your Guardians is my Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
okay which we'll get to.
Now we're
Spider-Man Homecoming, my problem with it is it just feels so low stakes.
So mine goes Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2.
Alright,
I'm just catching up.
Okay, so mine goes Civil War, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Thor Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor. Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming, my problem is Vulture just feels like such a non-issue of just Iron Man would listen. Just look, motherfucker, there's this bird, just Spider-Man be like, look, man, there's this fucking bird dude. Just go, just hang out here in your fucking suit, or just in one of your robot suits, and then, Vulture shows up and it's like, well, I'm fucking Iron Man, so zap.
No, and he could have helped his family. He could have helped them if, he, reached out instead of gone to a life of freaking crime immediately.
Yeah, so that's kind of the salty bit about that movie. Though I have some other stuff, but we'll get to it. So that's your Guardians 2. Your next one's Spider-Man Homecoming. Mine's Thor.
Okay.
No, wait. God damn it. No, sorry. Your Guardians is my Thor.
Okay.
And
then my Spider-Man is your Ant-Man
Man and the Wasp. Then we have our top 3s. Your number 3 is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
No, my top 3 is...
Captain Marvel. And mine's Doctor Strange.
Yeah, which, honestly, it's a jarring movie for me, so it had to be lower on the list.
And then my number 2 is Infinity War.
My number 2 is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And then my number 1 is Guardians 2.
My number 1 is Infinity War, so our predictions are completely different.
I'm very curious to see how these lists are going to look.
Right? No, same.
I'm
Very
so glad that when Brandon and I started this, we were not like...
No, and when we finally review Endgame,
Mm-hmm.
when we watch Endgame and review it, I say that we look upon the future movies in Phase 4 and rank those and see how that goes.
See how it'll... Oh, God, that's going to be rough. Because, like, some of them you know a ton about. Because, like, we know a ton about, like, Far From Home.
Spider-Man.
And, like, we know a ton about, like, we have a rough idea of what Doctor Strange is going to be. We don't know shit about Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
We don't know shit about the Eternals.
I have good feels about it.
So that's it. We back next week with Civil War and Doctor Strange. This has been super fun. Those are the movies.
It has. I really enjoy just chilling with you, watching movies and then reviewing them.
Hopping on the microphones. Oh.
Got my headphones. Got my headphones.
Rewatching all these movies has been really interesting. This is definitely not a thing I'm gonna do for the next like Avengers. It's fucking. Yeah. Instead, what I'll do is I'll watch one a day leading up to it. Spreading this shit out over 6 months was a fucking horrible idea.
You know what? I feel like even if we have Road to Endgame, I feel like we should still do like Phase 4.
Just as it comes out.
Yes.
That'd be way easier. So sure, why not?
Yeah, let's do that. Fucking do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
We'll do it on stream.
Alright.
There you go.
Fuck it. Then we'll just take that clip and pop it up on your channel.
Why not? Alright guys, we'll be back. Next week with Civil War, Doctor Strange. And then once again it's 2 a week and then Endgame. So
yep.
Get your buttholes ready.
Get your hype on, bitches.
And Twitter @GamerAccess.